As the CEREC chairside restoration system has evolved, it has increased our range of treatment modalities. One of the big advances has been the ability to fabricate multi-unit provisional restorations. In this case, we have an anterior splint going from 6 to 10. The unfortunate part is right now the only way to design these provisional splints is with the database system. To design the provisional, it will ask you in the opening screen what will be an abutment and what will be a pontic. It will then direct you on where to marginate or place your pontic tissue surface. In this case, we start with number 6, we marginate, and then it will ask for the pontic site for number 7, pontic site for number 8, margin number 9, and margin number 10. After your margination has been completed, the software will ask you to correct the insertion angle using the left mouse button and the trackball. I find it beneficial to rotate the model so the midline of the pallet is in a vertical orientation. You will now go through the normal steps for database restoration. The software will ask what catalog you would like to use as the basis of your restorations. Here I'm just hitting the green arrow. So we have number 6, number 7, number 8, number 9, and number 10 proposed. When we rotate the model, we can see that we don't have ideal proportion. Angulations and rotations are off a bit. I will now be redesigning the case with the assistance of the anterior overlay. To position the virtual model, we use the left trackball button to rotate the model around a central point. The right trackball button we can use to move the model in its entirety without changing the angulation. And the zoom plus, zoom minus, we're able to expand and contract the virtual model so the buckle of the cuspids line up with the outermost vertical lines on the anterior overlay. The anterior overlay is set up to give us proportion, to give us angulation, and also to make sure that the midline is set up properly. Number 6, we start off with 7. You can see that it needs to be shifted in order to bring it into proportion. So we move that to the distal to try to bring the mesial of the number 7 close to the line that represents the proportions. Once we're close to that line, then we can move ahead green arrow to have number 8 placed. Once again, number 8 has to be shifted over. I'm going to do that with the position tools for the in the toolbox on the lower right corner. We continue our way around until all the restorations have been proposed. We can make our gross movements of the proposals at the time that the proposal is rendered. If we want to go in and fine-tune the position, size, angulation of the individual restorations, you go back and double-click on the restoration you want to manipulate. Once it looks like it is highlighted, then you can use your tools, your Form Plus, your Smooth, all the tools that have been available to us when we're doing our traditional database design. In this case, you can see that number 10 is set back a little bit. We bring it forward, and it also needs to be rotated in order to bring it in line with the other anterior teeth. It would be difficult to pick this up without having the additional reference marks that the overlay supplies. The circles allow us to evaluate the embrasures. We want to make sure that the contralateral teeth are consistent in proportion, shape, in order to make for an aesthetic smile. We look around at different angles, make sure that the incisal edges are lined up properly. Teeth are rotated. When you're dealing with a set span like this, you got to evaluate if it not only the teeth work with one another, but they fit into the space in a pleasing manner. With the way the software is right now, database is the only method that can be used for fabricating the provisional restorations, multi-unit provisional restorations. The overlay gives us the reference marks in order to get a better final product for the provisional.